We're rocking for the hungry on Ann Arbor's 107.1. I'm Martin Van Dyke. Such a pleasure to be with you on day 2 of this crucial and essential food drive and fundraiser, all in support of food gatherers, Washtenaw County's food bank and food rescue program. Our new goal this year is to raise 1.5 million meals. If you're familiar with Rockin, it has been typically the last several years a million meal goal, but that need is increased by 50%. The goal 50% more this year to nourish people in need right here in Washtenaw County. How are we doing so far? Off to a great start. About 500,000 meals, the monetary equivalent of that, have been raised, but still plenty of work to do. We're broadcasting live outside on a, truly freezing for a reason kind of Wednesday. The Kroger at 400 South Maple, just off of I-94 in Jackson, right next to the Westgate Shopping Center. And joining us today is Dr. Shannon Polk, who is the President and CEO at Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation. Dr. Polk, how are you? Warm enough?
Oh yeah, like in this balmy 17 degrees.
Yes, really. We're more fortunate perhaps the last couple of years where it was warmer, but I like it cold. This is the way it's supposed to be, for this event. Tell us about the Community Foundation and the role that you play in helping out the cause here for food gatherers.
Well, certainly. The Arbor Area Community Foundation was founded in 1963 with the purpose of providing permanent capital to nonprofits across the community. So over that 60 plus years of time, we provided over $100 million to local nonprofits.
$100 million?
Yes. And I'm very proud to be part of that legacy and what we've been able to supply to the nonprofits and grants and scholarship support, and even currently through impact investing. We are able to make a huge difference to the nonprofit community here. And so there are 17 staff, 21 board members who are actively working on a regular basis to be part of that philanthropic sector.
How long have you been CEO?
I am in my 4th year.
Congratulations, and thanks for joining us today. Why is this fight against hunger so important to you and the AAACF? Tell us all about it.
Well, it's interesting because the foundation was a part of Food Gatherers back in 2018, and we helped establish a fund with approximately $150,000 in donations, and now that fund has grown to over $400,000. And so we're providing annual support to Food Gatherers each year. But in addition to that, we care deeply about the safety net services, making sure that people have food, housing, clothing. And so the work that Food Gatherers does, we understand the critical need, especially as we see government funding decreasing in significant ways. And we understand those families in the county, not just those that have been chronically poor, but those that are part of what we refer to as the Alice population or the working poor. We've got a significant number of the county that are those folks that are working every day but still struggling to keep food on the table.
And we have to reiterate, I know when I got started at 107.1, I recently retired from the morning show after being the host in the morning from 6 to 10 for about 20 years. And so often the question when people would come up and help would be, really, Washtenaw County, Martin? This Washtenaw County, like one of, if not the most affluent county in Michigan, we've got to be in the top 3, top 5. Like, really, there's people who need help. I'm like, yeah. Really?
So I was actually just looking at some stats with the staff members just about an hour ago. We were looking at, you've got a third of the population just in the city of Ann Arbor that makes $50,000 or less. And so
I'm trying to digest that.
Yeah, because you've got 33% of the households.
And as we all know, Ann Arbor is not an inexpensive place to live.
Exactly.
It's a wonderful place. The amenities,
yes,
the culture,
right,
it's so desirable. But
exactly. So you think about those people having to pay for housing.
Oh yeah.
Right? They're having to then pay for probably prescriptions, other type of medical assistance that their family may need. And then you add to that the basic issue of how do I put food on the table for my family? How do I make sure that my children have breakfast and lunch before they go to school? How do I make sure that my grandmother or my grandfather, that elderly person in my life, how do I make sure that they're getting healthy meals throughout the day, who may have transportation challenges in accessing that food, as well as how do I make sure that it's culturally relevant? One of the beauties of this community is its diversity.
Yeah.
So we have people coming from all across the world here. How do we make sure that they have access to the food that they know and that meets their cultural needs?
Wonderfully said. Our guest is Dr. Shannon Polk. Dr. Polk is the president and chief executive officer at the Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation. Make one more pitch. You're so eloquent. Before I want to keep you on all day. We can't do that. Make one more pitch to our listeners in support of food gatherers and Rockin' for the Hungry, Doctor.
Well, one of the things I often talk about is the fact that we have linked faiths, right? What happens to my neighbor impacts me, but also what happens across the entire community. And the beauty is that Food Gather is our regional Feeding America institution. They're the ones making sure that each one of the pantries out there has the food they need for that neighborhood, for that community. So when we support Food Gatherers, we're supporting and addressing food insecurity across Washtenaw County. And we know how important that is. We know what kids need to survive and thrive. We know what our neighbors need to survive and thrive. And I say this understanding there are people still recovering from the fact that they may have been without pay for 42 days. Right?
Yeah.
Those government employees that are trying to make up the difference during this holiday season. And if we don't want people to have to choose between whether or not they can eat and the other needs that they have.
All right. I no better words than that. Our guest, Dr. Shannon Polk from the Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation. We're live outside the Kroger at 400 South Maple. You can give here at this Kroger. You can give at any Kroger in Washtenaw County. Easier still, if you just want to stay inside on this chilly day, you can give it online at foodgatherers.org. Dr. Polk, thank you so much for being with us today.
No, it's my pleasure. And I just salute all the work that you're doing, being out here, and all the work that they do at Food Gatherers every day.
Oh, I'm back at you. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Let's keep rocking for the hungry with Mount Joy on 107.1.